Hello, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon and good evening to everyone on the other side of the planet at the moment. Today it'll be myself and Robert Fletcher and James Engram. They are currently on their way to the studio. They're running a little bit late. They should be here shortly. Today I'd like to discuss a specific topic that at this point in time is pretty important with the amount of different things that are happening around the world at the moment, and the different opinions and understandings of how certain things should come about. So the topic is pretty much like Bob and Julian's show, The Transitioning. So the point in time where we are now and how we will be transitioning like we are at the moment, whereas we may not see the vast amounts of changes in different parts of the world for different specific reasons, but the transitioning as a collective from now until the phase of a better sort of world, which is, in my understanding, definitely up the road and not too far away. So whether it's a good thing for this transition and this change to happen via force or from grassroots, so the point where everybody comes to the understanding themselves of where we are as a collective on the planet and what's going on and what's happening, is very important, because when certain things and different people's opinions come into it, where maybe force should come in, where those who say are asleep at the present time, and that's totally necessary because everybody's on their own journey and should be exactly where they are. But if force for saying moving out political powers by force, if that's a good idea, but until they rock up, I have a very special friend of mine who gave me the chance to do exactly what I'm doing now, which is the wonderful Lisa Harrison. Lisa, are you there at all?
I'm here, darling. How are you?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm excellent. Excellent.
Beautiful. Did you get to listen in on that first couple of minutes?
The last sort of 30 seconds or so of it, I was able to focus, yes.
No, that's fine. Basically, what I decided for today's show was, because of everything that's happening around the planet at the moment, we are obviously in the transitioning, like Bob and Julian's show, and this point in time where there's lots of people with different understandings on how the transitioning should sort of unfold, even though it will unfold naturally and how it should, but people have different understandings of if it should be done by force, like taking out political powers with the military or different scenarios similar to that, or if it should be done by grassroots, where everybody comes to their own understanding eventually through slowly coming to the awareness of what's going on.
Right, I know how it looks for me.
Yeah, definitely. Your input would be perfect.
To me, it's purely organic, and to me, it's simply a matter of where we put our energy in terms of. There's a great quote. I think it's by Mother Teresa. It's like, don't invite me to an anti-war rally, but if you have a peace rally, I might come.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that quote.
So, just by withdrawing our energy and attention to that which we don't want and putting it on what we do, changes things in an instant.
Yeah.
I think the fighting against is, shall we say, our paradigm. Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Just as an observation, the people that I'm seeing who are really in the moment, they're in joy, they're feeling this incredible expansion, they feel the wave, and they're riding the wave.
Yeah.
Are those who are doing exactly that. They're not fighting against anything. That's not where their attention is at all. They're purely focused on what they want.
Exactly. Because wherever you direct your energy is what will be fed. and what will go. And from my understanding along my journey so far, and even with each individual's life, whether it's using simple things like the law of attraction and focusing on what you desire, it doesn't need to be money at all, but whether it be a relationship or something that they want to bring into their life, it's the same principle. And on a collective, it's huge, the vast amount of things that we could achieve if we were all sort of getting closer and closer and networking together and having this similar sort of needs and wants for the future.
Did you listen to Julian and Chris's conversation with Julian's ride back from Shasta?
No, I've been out of the loop. I've been trying to keep in there with so much, as you know, so many things going on.
It's hard to keep up these days, I know.
Yeah, as well as being like I'm still doing the slavery, so that's hopefully I've got things planned out, so that should be ending shortly. But until then, I'm still sufficing certain things. So, but yeah, I'm trying to keep in that loop. But could you give us a rundown?
Well, it was funny because Julian started the conversation saying he'd listened to the One People and Collective Imagination shows and realised that we were already talking about what he wanted to talk about, which one of the things he wanted to talk about anyway, which was these communities starting up. There's going to be these little pockets as soul groups continue to come together around the globe, and we'll start cooperating and creating communities together.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we said, during the week on those two shows.
Yeah.
And he really saw that. I think he also got that in the form of communication from his off-world friends, and that's what I say. This organic. I mean, we've come to call it. When I say we, I mean the group that were in Morocco. We've come to call it following the energetic trail.
Ah, beautiful.
And it's about just taking notice of those things that illuminate for you.
Yeah.
That feel right, and following them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the moment. You can't plan that stuff.
Yeah.
You can have a goal, but the path between where you are and your goal is, I don't know,
it's crazy.
You know what I mean? There is a perfect path, and if you follow that energetic trail, you'll follow that path. Yeah,
definitely. Even now, I'm still I've learned a fair bit about being in the moment and that sort of thing. But even now, I'm still sort of becoming aware of different points where I'll be sort of processing different things, and I'll quickly catch myself out. Whereas I'll be thinking, instead of being in the moment, I'll be thinking elsewhere. And then as soon as I find that headspace again, everything is just perfect and fine, and I find that place of peace, which is really, really, it's good. It's just something simple that everyone should sort of be taught at school. These are the things that I think should be taught at school, so we no need to stress about different things, and especially about all the fiction that's going ravaging around the planet at the moment, especially in Australia and Victoria, the police state, with all the fines and yada yada yada. But
how caught up is everybody in the fast between Gillard and Rudd? I think that's hysterical.
What is? Can you please tell me if you understand what's going on there? Because I've been looking at it a little bit, and I'm just like, this puppetry of the there's a puppet show, I can't remember, but it's similar to that.
The Muppets, that one.
The Muppets.
You and I could be those two old guys up in the rafters.
Oh, I should do a Photoshop photo of them. Oh, geez. So, yeah, they're in the same society, the Fabian Society, apparently, Julia and Rudd. So, from my understanding, it's all pre-orchestrated. But yeah, anyway.
Well, yes. I heard an interesting thing quite a while back. I think it came out from Ben Fulford.
Okay.
But he's blown all credibility with me now because after his OPP T11 off in Ethiopia, story. Yeah. So, that Rudd was initially outed, and the orders came from the Defence Department because he refused to bring in the carbon tax and wanted to instead release some free energy devices.
Rudd?
Yeah. And Whether that's true or not, who knows? But that was the rumour as to why he was outed, and that the orders came from our Defence Department.
Ah. Well, that's interesting. I haven't heard that one.
I know. Something to ponder.
Yeah, definitely. That'll that's well, that would be awesome. That's one thing that would be everyone should have the right to is energy, because it's abundant and everything, and we're a massive power source ourselves.
Yeah.
We're a bit off topic, but we'll get back to it. But even wasn't it, some of those carvings in the Egyptians where they're holding those specific devices, and it looks like what they're holding is being illuminated from them holding it.
Yes, I know.
How whatever the instrument is, but the fact
taps into their electromagnetic energy, I guess.
Yeah, and that brings the light. That's definitely been around. And the technology be here on Earth somewhere. I don't know if it's underground or some intelligent person's recreated or something like that. But yeah, just simple things like that. It's everywhere. It should be accessible and available to anyone. Like myself, I've had a good conversation with the Ombudsman and of energy and my energy provider, and now I just do not pay for power. Full stop.
How come? How'd you pull that off? Come on, you've got to share that story.
It's because, like, hypothetically speaking, say if I had my mother here and she was on life support, for example, but my mum's only very young, it's not going to happen, but if my mum was on life support and the power that is running all the equipment determines whether she stays alive or not, was a big factor. So say if I lost my job or went out of work, I couldn't pay my mortgage, yada yada, and then they cut my power off and something happened to my mum, what would happen then? You know what I mean? They'd be fully responsible for that, because whether they gave notification or not, they have no right to, because it's something that's a necessity for everyone to have, you know what I mean? Warmth and shelter and those sort of things. So yeah, I had a friend of mine who's very knowledgeable in the field of how that sort of what they can and can't do, and he helped me actually, and I've been meaning to get him on the show because he has a wealth of knowledge, but
oh, please do.
Yeah.
Because power bills are crippling people.
Oh, I know. I'm actually at the moment. I'm not sure. Oh, you're in New South Wales. I always forget that. But there's a sort of group or a business, something like that. But it's called Aussie Speeding Fines.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah. A friend of mine here in Geelong, Malcolm, it's been around for, 10 years or so, I think. And he was a chap who originally started the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a linguist and everything behind it all. And then the other guy wanted to go ahead with it and continue. He's like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want to. So he continued it on. But, so he helps me with different letters and that sort of thing. So at the moment, I'm sort of but people found out that I get rid of parking fines and speeding fines and that sort of thing. So I've created a little community where I've been through him as well, and he's fully aware that of how I'm helping people. And it's not for profit at all, because these things, when you know how it all operates and how fraudulent it is, there's a document. I'll try and find the link when the guys rock up. But there's a police officer I'm friends with here. He's an ex-constable. Used to be constable in the force.
Oh, you're the one who wrote that book.
Did you see? It was the 4 pages with the logo of the Victorian Police emblem.
Oh, there's actually, I got given a huge e-book written by a police officer too.
Oh, really? Was there a name on there at all?
Yeah, I'll look it up on my computer. 1 second.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah. Well, while you look it up, as soon as he realised exactly what he was doing and how illegal what he was doing it was, with impersonating a public official or public officer.
Cowboys in uniform.
Yeah, he was blown away, and then ever since then his journey's just exploded. Now he's taken and charged magistrates and sergeants and all that, all to court. And he knows his stuff. Like, he's educated me he's educated me with a lot of what I know when I get pulled over and that sort of thing, and it's been amazing. Like, I've been arrested now a couple of times, and with no license, no registration, and got off scot-free. So, and it's really, and I haven't even learned the full thick of it at the moment yet either. But just what I've learned so far, they can't pin anything at all on me, especially when you're doing no harm, and you haven't committed any crime, and you're just going about your travel and just doing what you have to do privately.
Well, you can get a copy of this PDF online at this link, or if you just do a search as well for Cowboys in Uniform PDF.
Yeah.
And I know it's global, but I guess particularly if you're in Australia, because it's written by a ex-West Australian police officer.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of that chap. Yeah. Is that in the chat, that link?
Excuse
it's
me.
a PDF.
Yes, it's a PDF, but it'll just open up straight away.
Would you be able to email or send that through to me? And if anyone wants a copy of that, email me at Before We Die, which is letter B, number 4, WEDY @hotmail.com. I'd be more than happy to forward that through to you guys. We'll swing back to the topic, Lisa. I've got Rob and James here with me. So if you're...
Hi, Rob and James.
Hey, Lisa. How you going?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Oh, I'm really good. Really good to hear your voice. It's been a while.
Has it? You're not listening to our shows?
I've been busy as I've been doing all sorts of stuff the last couple of weeks, and
I saw you doing the rounds on Facebook as well. So well done.
Yeah. I've been quite busy. I've been
doing different things,
doing really crazy things, by the way. But I'm getting involved and getting active. So
that's the main thing.
It's been really good. Yeah, but. How's the show going, Lisa? Sorry I haven't actually been on listening. It's just
it's fine, sweetheart. I'm joking.
No, I'm sure it is.
I'm just pulling you. The shows have been amazing. I mean, the community that's come up around these shows is just one of the biggest, loveliest families I could ever have imagined, beyond whatever I could have imagined. And it's just... I get to completely spoil myself and spend 2 hours a couple of days a week
with everyone.
With everyone. It's just awesome. I love it.
It's with the family, isn't it?
With the family,
Yeah.
Well, I'll introduce James, because I haven't even actually told him what the topic is today. So what we were discussing is perfect timing too, without going into detail where we're all at individually, but... Okay. The transitioning that we're going through at the moment.
Oh, man.
All right. So, and the weather, because there's all different people at different levels, and whether they understand or whether they're aware of what's going on, or if they're in their own world, is a totally different story.
Yeah.
But if everyone should sort of go along on the ride individually and be brought up by grassroots to their own awareness, or, for example, say, if we had the ability and intention with all positive manner to go in and to the politics and with the politicians and the ministers and take them out of power for all the crimes that they've been committing and perpetrating over the last few decades and more. So that's a conversation, whether with the different opinions, what and how, and if it's a good thing or if it's not a good thing, so we can weigh up the pros and cons of what's good for everyone and what's good for other people who aren't aware, and that sort of thing, if you know where I'm coming from.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, I do.
Because it's interesting times and there's a lot of things happening.
Wow, crazy times. I can see things flying all over the way. I mean, you got Japan, there's an uprising starting there. You got Turkey, you've got all these countries. Yeah, people are actually waking up to all this. It's taking time, but I think, especially with I call it the global community now, because you look at these people, the global family for me, because you look at all these people now just standing up and just being aware that things aren't right. And I just think that's the start. From from the ground up. They call it direct democracy, from the ground up, you know.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is happening. I think you get this swell of awakening, you know. It's just like, wow, have I been living in a dream? Is it real? You know, it seems to be like that, you know.
I'm still doing that every day. When I'm at work, I'm like, am I really shoveling concrete right now? Like,
I tell you, I myself, Lisa, I've been having some quite strange experiences. I've had, this is me. I've never been really that sort of spiritual person as such, but I'm telling you, it's just come to me. I've had some very, very strange visions in my dreams. I've had an experience the other night. I had a cigarette outside, and you know, like an elastic band. You pull an elastic band, you don't let it go. That's what I felt like. I felt like I was standing on the ground, and I had to go under my roof and my porch for a minute because it freaked me out. And then when I went back out, it just happened instantly again. You know, it was like I had this feeling that I was getting drawn to it. And I don't know. I can't even explain that, but it was just so strange. And I walked into my house and told my wife, and she was like, "Oh, that was so silly." But having that experience, not ever having an experience like that before, was just very profound for me. Very profound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've been seeing an expansion of senses going on for quite a while, but it does seem to have kicked up a gear in the last month or so.
Yeah. It's very, very strange. I mean, I've been seeing things in my dreams, and I can't explain them. I've been flying through tunnels in my dreams. I've been having beings in my dreams I can't even recognise. And I don't know how this is coming to me. I've never actually even researched any of this or thought about any of this, but now all of a sudden it's there.
Well, it's for me. Lucid dreaming started at the beginning of the year when I connected with Heather and Dee and Bill and Brian, and that's when we all started lucid dreaming together.
Wow.
So I think part of it is coming into contact with, I don't know whether soul groups and soul families is the right term, but maybe it is. It feels like it is.
Yeah.
And it sort of activates things within each of you, is the only thing that makes sense to me based on my own experience.
Yeah.
And I think also there's been a lot of talk from different fields about this elusive event, the event.
Yeah.
And in line with your topic today, Emilio, I think that has to be a part of it. You know, What if there is an event? It's an energetic moment.
Yeah.
And Julian, I know that he said the other day that he feels it's going to be in a big bang moment, not a process. But I think the closer we get to that moment, if it is a moment, then we're all expanding and expanding and expanding as we get closer anyway.
Yeah.
And then there may well just be a switch flipped, or who knows. But I mean, we don't know what it looks like. We don't know what it feels like. We don't know what it's like on the other side yet.
Yeah. So with your vast amount of understanding and
vast, huge. Yeah.
and we're still continuing every day to learn so much. But where do you see where, like, say, for the majority of the populace who are still asleep and who are unconsciously feeding the machine, so to speak, do you think that's necessary that continues, or do you think we lend a helping hand and sort of jump in between and say, hey, this is what's going on. We've got to take the politicians and make them aware of what they've been doing, if they have or not, but most of them are. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think a helping hand, definitely, but I think also each and every one of us has got our own triggers, our own predetermined triggers.
Yeah.
And for some, that will be right at the very end. It'll, and that's okay, because there's stuff there's still stuff they've got to do between now and then.
Yeah.
And they're holding the contrast, and they're allowing us, because we still need contrast at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's still assisting us in deciding what we do want when we see what we don't. And I gave up trying to kind of convert anybody a long time ago, but I absolutely hear if somebody asks questions and wants to know, and if I know anything that I can help them with, then for sure. When it comes to the system, it's just about me letting the system know that I know. It's not about trying to tell them anything. It's just excuse me, but I know there's, I know someone's playing funny buggers, and I'm not playing anymore. So I don't need to bang heads together.
I think that's happened a lot. I see it all over YouTube. I mean, people are standing up to these people now. They're making them aware that they know, and that's great because it only helps the transition. Because a lot of people are looking up to like yourselves and Heather and stuff like that, and they're really connecting, And it's great because a lot of people are looking at expanding their awareness about what's going on around them, and I think that's important. And I do believe that critical mass will get to that point soon. That, and I really do believe that the awareness will be a combined awareness. I don't think it'll be an individual thing. And I tend to agree with Julian. I think it will be a
point in time.
Yeah, a point in time where you will notice it. You'll notice the change of, your expansion of awareness. You'll know it. I can see it happening already in lots of people when I have conversations with them. So they're starting to question, like I would say it this way. They're starting to question their reality because they're seeing it in different lights now, and it's just an amazing shift I can see happening.
Let me jump in. What about the people who are happy doing the 9 to 5, they're happy paying their bills and all that sort of thing, and then someone comes in and because they haven't got the understanding, because understanding is the most important thing when you're looking at all different areas, but if they haven't got the understanding of the greater possibilities, because there is greater possibilities in how we can operate as a collective, that we sort of say someone jumps in and says, oh, well, this is all going to change, but they're still at the same page, like there won't be the things that have been taking away their energy and their blood, sweat and tears that I have to go to work for. So
Amelia, I think the key word there is happy. If they're happy doing what they're doing, but what they're doing is going to change, then they'll just get to a point where they're not happy with it anymore. But as long as they are...
Oh, because I can tell I've met some people who just, they love going to work, they love paying their bills, and that's fine. Because without those people, we wouldn't have the polarity, you know what I mean? So it's all necessary.
I would say that everyone has their time. I mean, you've got to allow people time to do it. You can't just go up to people and go, you've got to wake up, you've got to realise it, because it doesn't work, That's sort of like a red rag to a ball. So I think everyone has their time, and I believe that I'll start respecting that, because I used to be the one going around going, don't you know about this? What's the matter with you? Why don't you know this stuff? But it just doesn't work, and you sort of end up alienating people, and that's not what we really want to do. We want to start getting everyone together. So
I mean, David Icke's been out there doing his thing for 20-odd years, and the same people who called him a nutcase 20 years ago are his biggest fans today because of maybe 9/11. Maybe that was the trigger for them, or the Gulf War, or whatever. But it's just like...
He's doing some great things with the people. Is it the People's Voice, what he's starting?
Yeah, TV show.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be...
Just on Russell Brand's
it's on Russell
TV
Brand.
show, Before that, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, so that's going to be really good for people to have their say in Australia, like whoever the main guys in Australia will be doing it, which will be really good. But going back to what we're talking about, even like my stepfather, because we have conversations, not intended, but arguments over the dinner table, and I'll tell him, like, times are changing. I mean, things are going to change. It's going to be a lot different, and he's like that. Nothing's going to change. He just thinks that all I do is eat mushrooms and I've lost my mind. You know what I mean? Like yesterday at work, like his humour is to tell everyone that I've lost it, and I just go out every weekend picking mushrooms and eating them. Like, it's pretty funny. I just laugh because it's something you got to laugh at. Like I love picking them. Don't get me wrong, but it's a very sacred ritual. But that's another conversation in itself. But yeah, me and James here, we went to primary school and high school together, and we've had some very in-depth conversations about like sort of where people are at with their awareness, and if it's a good thing for a shock of just letting them go along the way, or if something happens and then if they're more prepared for it because they have an awareness of it, if it's more beneficial, or if them just not knowing and not sharing anything with them is better. No, so we've been trying to weigh up all different things along our journey. So, but yeah, it's
you can sort of gauge that person to person. You know, you open up the conversation, you see what their response is, and if their eyes glaze over and they shut down, then you move on, start talking about the weather. But at least you've planted the seed, and
that's what I was about to say actually, Lisa. Just planting the seed, just give them a little topic that revolves around them, or that's interesting, something against the government or something like that, and just plant the seed, and slowly they'll work on it themselves. Yeah, you can't just give them the whole course at once. Just plant a little seed, and they'll take it from there. Which one of our friends Nicola.
Yeah.
When I'd done his tiling job a couple of months ago, I'd done the same thing. Planted a little seed, or we were having a conversation. I bring something up about the government, how corrupt they are, and all that. And he's like, yeah, no worries. And just last 3 months, he's been posting things on Facebook and all that. And what just happened now with Kevin Rudd and all that. When they're going to switch powers, he actually posted all this stuff on Facebook.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he's slowly taking that path. Yeah. Beautiful. Which is good. So yeah, like Lisa said, just got to plant that seed, and
we are sowers of seeds.
Yeah. The other thing that I've learned a lot about with sowing the seeds, and I'll probably go out with or used to. I do a little bit now, but with a whole sack, and I'll just be throwing throwing seeds at everyone. Not like that anymore, but sort of when you do sow certain seeds, and then like trying to disconnect from when the ego kicks in. If someone says something that your ego doesn't like, then that can sort of disrupt sometimes friendships with those certain people. But depending on that, you can keep your mouth quiet and disconnect from your ego and just accept that that's their opinion, and just be like, oh yeah, that's okay, yeah, good point. Instead of
that's
the ego,
that's a really good point about accepting people's points of view. I mean, we like to have these heated debates, but I think this transition is all about acceptance. I think it's all about accepting people's value as such, as the input they give. I mean, we love to argue with people and say, you're wrong, this and that, but when you actually get to the point where you can accept their valuable input, I mean, this is what we talk about value. That's what I think it's all about, is the acceptance of other people and their points of view. And
well, how good does it feel when you know that someone just accepts where you're at, even when they don't get you, when they've got, and they can't go where you've gone, or it's scary to them, or they don't understand it, or perhaps they think that
that's avoidance. Sorry, Lisa. For me, when people have acceptance of myself where I'm at, it makes me feel like I'm in a void with them.
Yeah.
Sort of. Because it's just like they're.
You got nothing. Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like, I don't know. It's a weird feeling.
It's the hardest part learning to accept. I think that's for a lot of people.
It's totally cool.
The transition. And it's really lovely when you can do it, because it comes back to you. That acceptance of even love. If you accept someone's love, you get that love back tenfold. So it's great. I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah. I was going to ask Lisa, how is Bob? Has he been travelling?
He's improving every day.
Oh, really?
Every day.
Great. That is great.
He's walking with a walker.
Oh, beautiful. My gosh, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him.
Chair's falling apart, synchronistically. He does 20-minute workouts, and he does 2, 3, even 4 of those a day.
Shit.
I'm
sure he'd be eating all the right things too.
Eating all the right things.
Yeah.
Well, you kidding? No. He's eating more. I don't know if it's any of the right things.
Oh, really?
But, I mean, what he's dealing with is 4 years of muscle atrophy. So, you know, slow process of building those muscles up, but they're getting stronger every day. He's pretty much permanently sore because his muscles are constantly being worked out. So, he's a really happy guy.
Yeah, so he wasn't walking.
So happy for him. I really am so happy.
There's a video on YouTube, on my website that I put up showing. Have you seen it? It's
no.
Yeah, I'll go and have a look. It'll show you his first steps in Morocco, the day that he arrived, and right through to the morning after the doing that we did out in the desert, and everyone's been experiencing healing from then.
Oh, bro, wow.
You know.
That's amazing.
Because I was talking to Darius, and he said his apologies that he couldn't make it on because he had some really... Actually, I'll touch a little bit on what... Because it's quite funny in this situation at the moment. He... and hopefully people aren't listening that I'm speaking about, but it's fine. He said it's fine because he's going to talk about it anyway. But he has a girlfriend at the moment, and he loves her to bits. But he's met this other girl, and apparently she's amazing. Like, he's blown away.
You outing him on radio without him.
Yeah, totally outing him. But he was going to do it himself anyway, and he said it would be fine. So anyway, he's in love with this other woman as well. So now he's in this conundrum because he wants to tell him how much he loves them both. And it's going to be awesome. But yeah, he said his apologies because he's going to the movies with his family, so he couldn't make it on. But yeah, I thought I'd just touch on it there. Yeah, his story. He'll bring it on next week, but his story is going to be pretty hilarious. He's bring some funny things to the table. But yeah, I'll definitely have to check out that video with over in Morocco about Bob walking. That's crazy.
I sent Bob a Facebook message and was like, "Is this the right Bob? Right? Is this?" Because I couldn't believe it. You see? It was amazing. When I heard that Bob was walking, I was like, I sent him a message saying, "Is it really you?"
It really is him.
Yeah, he sent me one back. Said, "Yeah, it really happened." I was like, "Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so amazed. I'm absolutely amazed." It's so good.
Even American Kabuki, Bill, he had a near-death experience. Actually, I'm not sure what year it was. It might have been 2003 or something. And he's got a trach scar and some complications as a result of the illness that took him down. And his scar really disappeared. The discoloration in his legs has improved dramatically. I mean, everyone's doing something that was there.
Yeah.
Losing weight.
Yeah. That's really good.
I couldn't even tell you what we did, to be honest.
But you had to be there.
Had to be there, yeah.
It's definitely having an effect.
What's that? Wow. What's that quote, James? There's a quote.
I found this quote which is quite interesting. He goes, "You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality."
Yeah.
Which is happening right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can ignore reality, but the consequences of what's happening, you can't ignore that. So,
it depends on what you're saying is reality.
That's right,
yeah.
What's reality? The Matrix?
Matrix.
Yeah. Or is it the breaking out of the Matrix is actually the reality?
Yeah. No, you could go to all different
reality
levels.
Within a reality.
Yeah.
Multi-levels.
Yeah, that's it.
Multi-dimensions.
Conversation itself. Actually, a little bit off topic, speaking about movies and the Matrix. Gone off topic again. But have you seen Tron?
It's the new release one? No.
Yeah. Haven't seen it?
No. Is it good?
Oh, you've got to see it. It's unreal.
Okay.
You seen it, guys?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
That bike, those bikes, the
they've made them.
Yeah, they actually made them. They're
They're made,
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was on that guy's
yeah?
clip. What's his name?
Oh, really?
That rapper.
Oh, it's your inner rev head that likes them.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a fully electric bike and it does like 0 to 100 in like 3.5 seconds. But for an electric bike, it's pretty unbelievable. And this bike looks something out of the warp. What's that movie? The Warp Zone? No.
I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, something out of the future anyway.
Well, technology is the next thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing some amazing technology, I think, very soon.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to go with the emerging sort of awareness, I think, of a lot of people.
Right.
You know,
Me and Emilio have been bringing out our
suppression out there, so
Yeah.
break free. Break free!
But
Well,
yeah,
we need
back-
more Snowdens. We need more whistleblowers in the air.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah, he I'm not sure if they've actually captured him at all. This sounds ridiculous and sounds disgusting. The fact that
I think I was actually speaking to his brother on Facebook. I think it's his brother.
Hasn't Ecuador said they'll take him in?
Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I think Ecuador's a safe haven for
Edward
all
Snowden.
them guys now. But you know, Julian Assange has been there for a year, so.
Well, Edward Snowden is the young fellow who blew the whistle on the privacy of what
The NSA.
the National Security Agency
yeah.
of how they're collecting every bit of data that comes from Facebook, Skype, Twitter, all them sort of social networking tools, that everything's recorded in phone calls so that they can use it for whatever reason. Or
We've been playing with that all year.
Shall we say
We
hello?
know that. Yeah. Hi, guys.
Yeah.
When we have private conversations, supposedly private conversations, not on air,
Yeah.
with Heather and Dee and the gang get together.
Yeah.
That's how we get messages out. We just
Yeah.
talk about it on Skype,
Yeah.
and the response is quite often immediate. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, some of us, or Heather in particular, will get an influx of Skype messages.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's pouring here. Can you hear the rain?
Oh no, I was just thinking then about how many she'd get a lot of people messaging her and that sort of thing. Definitely, for sure. Well, what's happening? Are you able to give us up to speed with the IUV? With because eventually they'll have a vast amount of tools that we'll be able to use, like how we use Skype and Facebook Messenger, and have all those capabilities once it comes online.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the plan, I should say, at this point, is to get as many people on board as we can to generate the funds necessary to build the platform so that Caleb can go on. Because at the moment, it's pretty much Caleb and 2 other developers, I think.
Oh,
so, excuse me. And he needs the resources to bring on a whole heap of developers.
Yeah.
And once he can do that, then all of these other tools come online quicker, and it'll be completely run by us. So there'll be a voting system. What do you want next?
Yeah.
And it'll have the tool in there for the IUV.
Yeah, I'll just let everyone know that while Lisa's on there, she likes to have a shower at the same time.
Is it that loud, is it? Yeah, I'm talking to you from the shower. No, it's been pouring here for like 6 days, non-stop. I have not seen the sky for a week.
What? Whereabouts in New South are you?
About an hour south of Sydney on the coast.
Oh, shit. That's that much rain. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right.
Non-stop. And it's cold. It's really cold.
Well, it's freezing down here. It's like 3 degrees last night, so it's ridiculous.
Yeah, bloody. I'm having to squirt down with warm water from the kettle, the ice off my window most mornings now at the moment. So it's been pretty chilly. But
So what do you think's coming? What do you think's happening?
Well, just to Just, I'll tell you, before I get what I think's happening, with different things that I do, and everything that I do is completely legal and lawful, and whether it's the different processes or instruments that I use to play with these corporate entities is another story. But it's funny how some of my family or friends just joke around and say, "You're going to jail," but definitely not going to jail. It's just I'm standing in truth. I'm being 100% honest with everything I do, and I'm loving it. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you how liberating transparency is?
Oh, isn't it?
Oh my God!
You most of the time I'm having to sometimes have to explain myself, but it's part of it. But it's yeah. You wake up, you feel so free. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But part of the pain, the cooler thing is when you still like, I can see exactly where it would be beautiful to be without any of this fiction. You know what I mean? Because all this paperwork and this person and this straw man of this name that's you, and I'm pulling you over and have you been speeding? But no, I haven't been, because that's just a fictional little character on a piece of paper that I was taught to say that I have to accept as me.
Contract.
When you let go of all that, then the whole new, and like really let go of it to the point where you don't accept, unless you have to deal with certain corporate figures or whatever, you don't accept that is you, then it's a whole nother world. Everything starts changing, and then you find yourself playing a game on a different level. But it's it's just the best journey. Wouldn't change it any way in the world. Like me, James and Rob here have been doing it for a decent portion of time, and we've learned a lot, but we wouldn't change it for the world.
No, it's all about, I believe it's all about how you interact with these people. If you go to them and say, if you come up and say, well, you've done something wrong, say, well, how can I help you? No, what can I do? You know? Because Amina had a story and said the cops took her out and said, no, let's go down to the police station. I want to talk to you about something.
Yeah.
You know, if you do that and interact with them that way, like I phoned up a guy on the phone, Civic Compliance. Civic Compliance is the infringement office down in Victoria. And I phoned him up and said, he gave me this letter. And he was really wanting to sort of have a confrontation. So I just took it down a peg and I sort of said to him, you know, well, how can we deal with this? Where's the remedy? How can we come to that remedy? Like, what do you want me to do? So I want you to pay the fine. So well, I'm actually not prepared to do that. But if there's something else we can do to better the situation, let's do it. And his tune changed instantly. Because I wasn't shouting, I wasn't being aggressive, and I wasn't sort of trying to get him into that state where it's me, you. And it's just amazing that you just get interactions from people that change instantly if you're standing that truth, you know. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
What you were saying, Lisa, just before. What was your question again? I know what you were saying. I got that.
What you think is coming?
I was just thinking just then. My understanding, the degradation of hierarchy is definitely inevitable. From my own personal experiences so far, like it's so many people, because it's just not whether they understand or not, just not resonating with. Huh?
No, sorry, I didn't.
Say it again.
Oh.
Drop the soap. At least just drop the soap, guys. It's alright. What were we saying? That
it's bigger than. I think it's bigger. This. What did you say? Degradation of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the corporate structure that's on this planet.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than that.
It's the consciousness of having that in place. So
the corporate structure, I think, is a very small part. I mean, there's so many multi-levels going on right now that you know some people wouldn't even fathom it, and even me, I look at it as the now, what's going on right now, and I just think, man, it's just the potential of what we see, what I see right now is just limitless. It's limitless. It's people getting involved. I mean, once it starts, it'd be like the biggest tidal wave. You can't stop it. You know, even if and say, even if the OPPT never came around, I tell you, that awakening at this moment in time, I think would have happened. You know, it's still happening. The OPPT have done the best ever, and it just opened people's eyes to that door, and they opened it for them. And now you see everyone just jumping on it like it's a freight train. You know, it is. It's this freight train just flying at the brick wall, and just going to pile straight through it because there's no stopping it now.
Yeah.
I think it's just better. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, definitely. I think that before my time's up, and everybody's in this sort of generation. Everyone has to have the free right to access water in abundance, because that's abundant. The earth creates it, the clouds create it. Everyone should have access to water, food, shelter, and energy. There's maybe a couple of things I've missed out there, but just the essentials. Everyone on the planet wants to get away from the greed of these bananas who've been enslaving to the families for generations and gone back to the Egyptian times. If that's exactly what it seems to be, then this is the new paradigm. This is the time when the earth will be in full harmony with everything on it and everything inside of it. It has to happen. It has to happen.
Well, we are in
it is happening.
Let's say the age of revealing. We're in this revealing stage now where things are going to be shown to us. You know, it's like because the mind this moment in time. A lot of the ancient mystics have talked about this time. So it's just very, very succinct to why it's happening now, and I think it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. But did you want to say something, James? You say something?
No.
But yeah, definitely. I want to finish doing little things I've got to do at the moment. That's definitely what my journey is about, is bringing those things to the majority of people, because we should not be paying for things that come naturally from the planet and that are around us.
The water rate is going to go up another $238.
Yeah.
It's going to be another big blow to the economy. So yeah.
Do you know what? That's an
incentive.
Water companies. I want to pay more. Yeah, that's an incentive for people like me to go, beautiful, give me another reason so I can rip it all to shreds and rip it to pieces, because people shouldn't be paying for water and people shouldn't be drinking water that's full of different fluorides and bullshit stuff that's in it. Like, people got to really have to research and have a look just simple things like that, and don't shun upon, that's a whatever, it's fluoride in the water. Calcium fluoride actually does calcify your pineal gland. It's proven, you know what I mean? So
that's a gateway. It's your gateway.
Yeah, definitely a spiritual gateway, and part of your mind that it's, when enhanced, does change your life tenfold. But yeah, just these little things. I got a little bit excited there. Now I've just lost myself.
You're AD, totally.
Yeah.
You've got a follow up, but you've got 2.5 minutes left. So do you want to take them?
Yeah. Do you know what? When I went to studio, I can see the time. I can see end episode, call a guest, but the buttons don't work. But I can actually see 2 minutes, 28, 27, 26 counting down.
You want to keep counting?
But yeah, I'm just.
They've just dropped off, actually.
Oh. But yeah, I'm just like yourself and like James and Robbie, very passionate about making a change, not to kick up a stink, but to make it better for everyone. And that's what I should have brought up, that people sort of in my own family, I'm doing this because I want to make it better for everyone. It's not just about me. I mean, I'm doing this thing so I can learn and get to a point where I can disseminate the information to help others.
What's the point of doing it on your own? It's no fun playing by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing things with people who are aware and awake and wanting to do these things. It's good. The network's growing every day, and having people like yourself at arm's reach or hand's reach. What's the saying? Arm's reach.
Arm's reach, yeah.
It's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like how we met each other, how I met Rob, is just how it's unfolded. The network is growing, and and there's 90 seconds. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, the experience that I just came away from in Morocco, meeting everybody in person who absolutely feel like soul family.
Yeah.
And what happened to me while I was there, what happened to my consciousness, what happened to my every state, actually, of my being, I want that for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because you can't put it into words.
No, not at all. It's like eating 30 mushrooms and experiencing it. You can't really explain to words because words just, in English language, can't explain the feeling. So it's something that has to be experienced. But
having that without the mushrooms, though.
Without the mushrooms. Yeah.
I want that.
I have 25 seconds left. So thank you so much, Lisa, for coming in and chatting with us.
You're welcome.
Anyone who would love to share this podcast will have more than, lost my words again, but share it around. And
you can go to the 5dmedianetwork.com.
Yeah, 5D Media Network.
For the archives.
Next week. Thank you so much, everyone. And saying 10 seconds, but I think it cut out.
No, you're still there.
We're still here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for the Remembering on Saturday morning.
And for Darius is outing.
Yeah, and Darius will be letting some things out that I've already touched on. But anyway.
Okay. Talk to you soon, darling. Bye.
Thank you, Lisa.
Lisa.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.